All right, Smylie, we are taking time out of our busy weekend schedules here because we have to react to some breaking news in the golf world. We have discussed on this show before Brooks Koepka and LIV Golf mutually agreeing to part ways so that Brooks can spend more time with his family at home for a number of different reasons. We've discussed how he's going to spend his time in 2026. He's in all the majors. We're now reacting to a report from ESPN that Brooks has applied for reinstatement of his PGA Tour membership. There are the sources that ESPN are using for this report said that once Koepka reapplies for membership, the tour will start its reinstatement and disciplinary process, which will include thoughtful input from the board, including player directors. Smylie, this is very interesting.
The plot thickens.
The plot is the plot was thick, and it's thickening even more. I think I want to get your thoughts on this, but I think that it's just so interesting to think about all the variables involved we discussed before, which are what was the nature of Brooks's original contract with LIV, and what sort of out clause was there, and how was that impacted by not playing the final year of that deal, and then also the timing of the process of reapplying to the PGA Tour, even if LIV and Brooks mutually agreed for him to not play this year. For Brooks to play on the PGA Tour in 2027, this is a process he had to start now. So I think all that stuff is fascinating, the dynamics behind it, but this is certainly not great from a PR perspective for LIV, I should think.
Well, it just depends on what the contract that Brooks Koepka had with LIV Golf. I think that was the question mark with a lot of people. Was this okay, we're going to allow you to not play this year, but you can't play on the PGA Tour? You know, we didn't know exactly what the legality situation was with all of that, but this kind of answers that question for us. And the fact that he is trying to get himself reinstated, maybe that is knowing that he can't play this year, or maybe there's an opportunity for him to play this year. I think the membership of the PGA Tour, especially many of the players who either didn't get into signature events or just missed getting their PGA Tour card, I think they're watching this pretty closely to see how Brian Rolapp and this committee led by Tiger Woods is going to handle this situation, because it does set a precedent if Brooks Koepka is allowed back and given his status back to where he can play on the PGA Tour. It also opens that avenue for other players to do it. But when you think about it, they are getting players that still have status, meaning it's like the John Rahm, it's the Bryson DeChambeau, it's the players they actually want to have back quickly. So I think it's interesting in what they could do here. I question whether Brooks Koepka should be allowed to get into signature events. Although that's where I think the PGA Tour, the networks would want to see him, is playing against the best in the world. Although I don't see that situation unfolding. I could see him maybe getting into open events, open field events. How would you be able to handle that? Do you expand the field by one spot so that one guy doesn't get in based off Brooks Koepka being allowed back? There's a bunch of different ways to look at it. I myself hope that he does tee it up this season, but I definitely don't want him to be taking a spot away from a PGA Tour player.
The dynamics even of that are interesting, because there's obviously what's precedent, what does not feel disrespectful to the PGA Tour members that stayed, and how their opinions influence this decision. But as we increasingly talk more and more about the PGA Tour product, how do we create more value for the product? Your point there about the influence of television networks, the SSG, and saying, wait a second, we can make a little more money on this thing, sell it at a higher rate if we have a guy like Brooks Koepka in that field, definitely have to be a driving factor. Yeah, it'll certainly be interesting to see, what this reinstatement and disciplinary process looks like for Brooks, and what precedent it sets for other guys, because as we've talked about in the show before as well, Bryson DeChambeau's contract is expiring, and he's, he has not strongly committed his future to LIV Golf. So we'll see what kind of happens as we get more and more developing reports in the Brooks Koepka ongoing saga. So
I listen to this podcast. It's really cool. And
all of our lovely fans and subscribers, but make sure you like and subscribe.
It's cool to see what you guys are doing. I know golf fans appreciate it, but we do too. So please keep it up.
For all the good people of YouTube, like and subscribe.
You guys have some good takes, so I'm happy to come on and shoot the